Hi, my name is Kerry Wood. I'm working under Dr. Monica Ivantisanova. I'm an electrical engineer, and my project is performing modal analysis on a hydraulic pump. So, the extreme basics of modal analysis is that we have an accelerometer placed on the pump in a specific location or totally random location. And what we can do is we can hit the pump, measure the force, and then we can measure the accelerations with the accelerometer. So essentially we can study the vibrations of the structure and hopefully make a quieter pump because they're very noisy. Okay. So for the most part, when we record the response, it's hooked by a coaxial cable on the hammer and then also the accelerometer too. It goes into an analog to digital converter, and from that we can get all the data into a text file on the computer. All the post-processing is done in MATLAB. It's really helpful because instead of writing functions to find peaks, writing functions to do just all sorts of things, MATLAB already has them coded in there. There's a lot of things like cross-spectral density programs, which sound complicated, and they are, and MATLAB can really help shorten up that time so you're not spending days on something that you can code in an hour with MATLAB. Okay, so some of the challenges we encountered is this is an extremely damp system. It's almost like a lead brick. It's very hard to make it vibrate. That's why we have it suspended by these cables. It's supposed to represent a free field structure. So if we could have it hanging free field in a vacuum with no forces on it, that would be ideal. But hanging it by cables is pretty much the closest we can get. So some of the problems is that our acceleration time and our impact time, the signals are really short. So we have to do a lot of things like kind of recording at a higher sampling frequency and then downgrading that to a lower sampling frequency when we actually kind of do the estimation algorithms. So when we did come across problems, or when I came across problems, I'd usually talk with my graduate mentor, and a lot of times he could look at what I was reading and help explain the math better, because this is an extremely math-based project. It's a lot of digital signal processing. And then also the lab just right across the hallway, their entire goal of that lab is to perform modal analysis. So we got a lot of books and resources from them, and I could actually go and talk to the lab over there. And this hammer right here, we borrowed from them because I had a smaller hammer and I couldn't even get a vibrational response because it was too small. The final goal of this project is to get mode shapes, which is kind of how a system is contorted at specific frequencies. So maybe at 500 hertz, the pump is shifted to the right, or maybe at 600 hertz, it has a really funky shape, and that causes a lot of vibration and a lot of noise. So that's what we're looking for, and hopefully we can couple this with the design process of pumps so they can do modal analysis before they even build a pump, and that way we'll be able to see whether there's bad natural frequencies or damping ratios, and hopefully predict whether it's going to be loud or quiet.